Hello. So I saw your video on Trayvon Martin, and I enjoyed your video somewhat. But I have to also remind you this, that just because he's accused of selling drugs at school or what have you, that doesn't mean that he wasn't scared. I don't know if you heard the tapes of him screaming before Zimmerman shot him. I don't know if you listened to the entire Zimmerman 911 calls, but if you ask me, come on, man. It's a common sense thing. It's common sense. This man claimed he was scared. These people always get away with it. He had it in his mind that somebody black was going down. He didn't pick a big 400-pound black man. His neighborhood was so bad, or so white. How come one of the first witnesses was a little black kid who lived in the neighborhood? There was black kids in the neighborhood already. So when you watch the news, they make it seem like he's walking through an all-white neighborhood and Zimmerman, comes out of the blue and just, does his thing. When you listen to all of the tapes, you get a picture. And this picture of Zimmerman is not good. He's told, just like the old guy a couple years ago, he was told not to follow the kid, but he followed him anyway. It does not matter who Trayvon Martin is or was. The only thing that matters in this case is the actions of Zimmerman. Now, if Trayvon Martin was out there trying to sell some dope or whatever, does that mean the neighborhood watch guy got to come shoot him? Matter of fact, does police go around shooting people for selling dope? No. The police don't shoot you for selling dope. Why in the hell would a neighborhood watchman shoot you? Self-proclaimed neighborhood watch, they say. A neighborhood watch person on neighborhood watch with gun. You don't go on neighborhood watch with a gun. So when you talk about the media romanticizing Trayvon Martin and trying to make the other guy look bad, you need to look into the racial aspect of it too. I'm tired of when something happens to somebody black that, all the white people out there assume that every black person is going to jump on the black man's bandwagon. In this case, it was a little kid. I don't give a damn, if he had tattoos on his arms and all this and he lived the street thug life. That's an image. You yourself got a fucking British accent and you steered to show your face. Is this the same dreamer or whatever that did the video about the man on the train years ago that was acting all niggified? Your actions haven't changed. You know what I mean? It's like, there's a young person of color dead, killed at the hands of someone who had an unbelievable fear of black people. So instead of trying to vilify or turn this little kid into a villain, I don't give a damn how much drugs he sold. He reminds me of my son. I don't give a damn how many times Obama put his foot in his own ass. I don't care about that. The story is about a young kid being killed and the person who shoots this kid not even being questioned in the proper manner. If you yourself, Mr. Dreamer, went out and defended your household, you would be arrested and jailed. I've seen black people defend their homes and be arrested. You see what I'm saying? It's different if Zimmerman has saw this guy climbing out of somebody's window, right? Because remember the old white guy a couple years ago shot those two so-called black guys who are actually Cubans. And that's another thing that is so twisted in the story. It doesn't matter if the kid was black, white, purple, or green. It was a child chased down by a grown man after the police told him not to chase him down. But you're saying they're trying to make it all beautiful and pretty. This is how it works. There was two white people killed a few years ago by 6 black people. A couple of them were women. And these white people were tortured and all kind of stuff. So, where was your ass at there, Mr. Dreamer Reborn, on that story? See, stories when black people attack white people are pretty much laid back to rest because of history. So there's been a history throughout history of vigilante justice against black people. The movie Rosewood, that was a true story. But if you let some white people tell it, it's not a true story. The movie just came out about the black airplane pilots, based on the Tuskegee experiment. White people say, oh, that movie's completely fake. They never did that. Why is it? It's because black accomplishments are not welcomed in this society. And now, those black people killing those two white people was not an accomplishment. See, that's fear. That would scare white people. You don't want to advertise anything that would scare white people. Like white people committing crimes. White people breaking into neighborhoods. White people breaking into houses. White people doing basic, quote-unquote, black crimes. You don't hear that. Because white people don't want to be embarrassed about their shit. So when they find somebody like Zimmerman, the first thing I heard was people trying to distance themselves. He's not white, he's Mexican. Well, if he's Hispanic, if he's whatever the hell he is, it doesn't matter. He's a grown man who took it upon himself to chase down a 17-year-old boy. Not a man. He was a boy. And shot him in the chest. And I did a video earlier and I was saying he was going to his mother's house, but he was actually going to his father's house. His father lived in a gated community. Something that a lot of black people, aren't known for being in gated communities. So there's another polarizing aspect of the story. Oh, I heard some people say he was cutting through the gated community. He was just going to get to the other side. No, his father earned enough to live in that community. So I guess he wasn't welcome in that community because he had his hoodie on. He was walking around like a little suspended from high school thug gangster, right? Come on, Dreamer Reborn. I think I commented on one of your videos before. Now, if you're on the train and some black guy's looking at you and you're afraid of him, you're afraid of your own image, man. Because you sound as if you're not from America. You weren't raised here. And I might be completely wrong. My assumption of you is based on your voice because I don't ever remember in the last 5 years you ever having a video showing your face. That's what I call the ultimate cowardice. Because you can say something like, oh, this boy is a drug dealer. So what? Why is he suspended from school? So what? Did it have anything to do with guns and shooting people in the chest? Chasing people down? No. You can't bash a victim. You worse than the man who shot him as long as you're going to try to say that out. Oh, he was... Nobody is a good person in this world that we live in. Not you and not me. Definitely not Trayvon Martin. If he wasn't the greatest, best kid in the world, then fine. He still did not deserve to be chased down in a strange neighborhood by a stranger. What's the first thing you learn? Not to talk to strangers. What's the first thing you do when you grow up in the hood and somebody's following you? You walk with your head on a swivel. You know when somebody's following you. You can hear on the tape, he's running. He's running. He's running because he's being followed by a large man. See, Mr. Reborn, you have never experienced fear, have you? Have you ever been scared of something or someone or a group of people? Did they teach you that in England? Or Jamaica or France or wherever the hell your ass is from? Oh yeah, I forgot you were in New York, so maybe you are, could have came up from Miami, maybe you Cuban. No, that's not a Cuban accent you have, right? Right? So where are you from to come here and judge how people have to live? I did a video on Zimmerman, and I was talking about how Zimmerman probably has some issues, mental issues, and people had the audacity to write on the bottom of the screen, they didn't like my video because, whatever. But my video, I always look at things from the other person's perspective. I didn't never look at this video or never looked at the situation from Trayvon's perspective. He's the victim. I'm not going to look at it from the victim's perspective. See what I'm saying? I want to look at it from the perpetrator's perspective. Why would some grown man go do this? You break shit down, and then you break it down again, and then you add your own 2 cents. That's all we can do in a story like this. Do we need all the facts? No, we don't need all the facts, because you can listen to those 8 911 tapes, and you can hear the whole thing unfold. You can hear, just like in with the old man, the cops telling you, don't chase the kid. You can hear them. And then I suggest you go look at the little video where you see the little black kid. He was walking his dog, and he heard all this commotion, and he was scared to go over there. And at the end of this video, this kid is saying to himself, if I would have went over there, he might have been alive. You watch that video. You go find that video that the first eyewitness speaks out. And you watch that video. You tell me Trayvon was a bad person. You look at the basic premise of this story, and it's a misunderstanding. This man assumed that this kid was the scourge kid. You know what I mean? The kid who has, that chip on his shoulder, willing to challenge anything and everyone. The kid I heard screaming for his life in the background wasn't challenging nobody. Help! Help me! Screaming. Why would you scream for your life if you was big ass thug drug dealer, just got suspended from school, and you were all hippity hop tattooed out? We raise our kids to live an image life. Oh, you have to go to work and strive to have the best. You got to buy the best car. You got to go get the expensive shit. This is how black people cope with, the frustration of racism and classism and sexism and all these sisms and isms and these chasms and shit. This pressure that you're placed on being black. Yeah, there's pressure. Because you have this image of a violent, desperate creature. The image of a black person is somebody willing to do anything to survive and live. That's a damn lie. Black people are not like that. Do you see black people fighting for any of the causes that they have? No. Black people don't fight for shit no more. Why? Because every time we fight and stand up for ourselves, there's a group of people pushing us back down. And I'm not just talking about, quote me, black people. I'm talking about people of a certain financial stature. I'm talking about poor white people too. It's one thing you fail, Mr. Reborn, is to talk about poor people as a whole, white and black and Mexican. Because that's what it is. It's about those who believe they have the power to keep people in their place. And Mr. Zimmerman fell in line with one of those people who should be kept in their place. Because if he's Hispanic, then he should have been kept in line. He should not have had a gun. He should not have been able to call the police 40 times to complain about the neighborhood. He would have been put in his place. Like, excuse me, sir? What are you calling us every 3 days for talking about these people walking around the neighborhood? And if they ain't had no business to be there, then they don't have no business to be there. But you cannot walk around and ask everybody for their ID. Oh, you don't live on this side of town. Do you have a visitor's pass? Zimmerman, that wasn't his job. Zimmerman lived in a world with no laws. Everyone's getting away with something around him. He was at the end of his rope and he didn't know what to do. He's going to stop one of these guys. Out of all the people he could have stopped, he stopped one that he was bigger than, stronger than, and walking by himself. There's safety in numbers. But what kind of coward would follow a singular person to stop crime? Isn't the neighborhood so bad that all of the people had to be watched? Why watch just the one person walking by himself? Why chase down the one person that you can get away with chasing down? Why chase down some black kid that you believe or you think, let's just kill this one. Nobody's going to give a damn. See, Mr. Reborn, you fail to realize that in your video. That it's not because he's a black kid, not because they're only showing pictures of him as a little kid, because he was somebody's child. The world we live in is not perfect. That could have been my son. My son dresses like that, but my son is what you may call an L7. My son goes to a university preparatory school. He's graduating this year. He will be going to a college. But how does he dress? No, he don't have the baggy jeans on, but he does wear the hoodies. He wears old army jackets, old hoodies. Got the beanie cap sometime on his face like this. My son is a nerd. He's into his books. And the day I get some bad news, somebody did something to my son, I will never see the light of day again. And my whole life after that point will be to stop those who looked like him, stop those who acted like him, and teach them something. And then my job for those who did what they'd done to it will be simple, plain, and quick. I need not have the freedom if my son's life is taken wrongfully. What would I do? I would go on a murder spree like this country has never seen before. And I'm guaranteeing this. Somebody fucks with my son wrong, it is on. For everyone or everything that person looks like. Remind me of that motherfucker who did something to mine, you're out of here. Your wife, your kids, your fucking kids, I wouldn't give a shit. Because that's what a real motherfucking parent would do. Man, you don't want to arrest this man who killed my child? Fine. No problem. You don't have to arrest him. Let him walk around freely as much as he can. Because when I catch up to him, you will have to arrest me. Because everyone in his pack is going down. His mama, his daddy, his babies. What Mike Tyson say? I will eat your fucking kids. Trayvon Martin was not my son. So all we can do is say, this shit should not happen to anybody of any color, especially you, Mr. Dreamer Reborn. It shouldn't happen to you either, right? You're black, right? You walk to the store every now and then. Can you imagine? I gotta go get my kids some milk. And you get out your house and you walk to the store, 2 blocks away to grab your son some milk. Why get in your car? You're wasting gas, right? It's 2 blocks away. So you hop in your shoes and you walk down the stairs and you walk out the door and you're going down the street to get some, milk for your son to have breakfast in the morning. It's 11 o'clock at night, Store's right down the corner. Somebody decides, this black man right here looks like he's up to no good. Look, must be a 40 ounce or something in that box, in that bag he's got there. So now he's drinking, drunk, looking at the houses. So when you walk down the street, do you keep your head straight? Or do you, So all of a sudden, some guy walks up on you, Dreamer Reborn. It's not one of those, those guardian angels. It's not the guardian angel. And this guy's like, hey, what you got in the bag? And you're like, a deer, the hell, like, this I guess milk, motherfucker. I just got milk. Open pause. What would you do, Dreamer Reborn, if somebody tried to shoot you at 11 o'clock at night and you just walk to the store to get some milk for your baby? What would you do, Dreamer Reborn, if that was your son misconstrued as a threat to the community on his way to your house? What would you do, Dreamer? Would you wake up? Would you wake the fuck up, Dreamer? Because I did a video about you, I think, a couple of times. The Dreamer's been reborn. some shit like that. But watching your video reminded me of why I stopped watching your videos. Because when you look at the perspectives you do, the angles you go at, you come off as anti-black. Like somebody black has done something wrong to you too. Like these people are making it bad for you to live your life. Well, teach somebody something, man. Teach somebody how to broaden their horizon. Look for a silver lining. You know, calling this boy a drug dealer is not looking for a silver lining. Because your son could be, suspended from school for fighting. Somebody else hits him, he hits back. He is suspended for fighting. So now does that mean your son is violent? Come on, man. You need to watch what you read and shit. So you find somebody bashing Trayvon Martin and you jump right on the bandwagon. I'm not going to bash him. If he's a drug dealer, he's a piece of shit then. But no, not even a piece of shit deserves to get shot when they ain't did nothing wrong. I once told somebody, out of all the bad things you've done in life, every time you've been arrested, were you arrested for anything that you've done bad, or was it always some dumb shit? And I asked you the same question. Have you ever been arrested, Dreamer? And was it anything you done bad when you got arrested? We'll put it like this. I have been arrested. And when I was an evil, sick, twisted individual, the law wouldn't fuck with me. When I changed my life and became a good guy, then I don't have time for that bullshit no more. They fuck with me. I can go down the street to go get a beer and be pulled over by 3 cops before I get home. Why? Do I look like a thug? Am I just the one to do this to? And oh yeah, one more thing. For those people who watch black people's videos, not every fucking black person is not unemployed. You know what I'm saying? So when you watch a black person's video and when they don't say anything negative about Zimmerman, and they don't say anything positive about Zimmerman, when they don't say anything negative about Trayvon, then you have to say, go get a job. For all those people out there who don't have jobs, who do YouTube videos, do your videos and get paid on YouTube. There's some hoops you'll have to jump through. Dreamer did it. Maybe that's why he's talking about Trayvon like he deserved it. But maybe he's not talking like he deserved it. So regardless of whatever that little boy was, to me he was a little boy. Soon to be a young man. My son's about to be 18 in a couple days. So let's look at things like you're supposed to look at them. What was wrong? Neighborhood watch guy had a gun. Was he wrong in doing his job? No. He's supposed to watch the neighborhood. But did he take his job literally too seriously? Literally? Yeah, he did. Because he was self-appointed. And everybody knows neighborhood watch people don't walk around with guns. They don't do that. So the next time you have a dreamer, wake up before you start telling it. Don't go do videos while you sleep. And another thing, I'm going to tell you like I told Sergeant Willie B. You guys who do your videos with logos and emblems and shit on your screen, what can you possibly be saying that makes you afraid to show your face? Think about that while you're dreaming. If you can stand by your words, then why don't you show your face and stand by your words? Are you trying to keep your job? Is that it? You want to keep your job? Because you know you get fired for saying the wrong shit now on social media. So how you want to do it, Dreamer? You want to go out like we used to? Battle it out in several videos? Or have a debate, a real debate? Because it doesn't matter who this kid was. What matters is how he ended. His demise. Because that could be any one of us. Not a little kid. That could be, like I said, it could be you going to get some milk for your kid. He was shot picking up a package of Similac and diapers. He had some diapers stuffed in, a 12-pack of diapers stuffed in his jacket and some Similac in his pocket. And he was shot because the guy thought he was stealing from the store he just walked out of. You see what I'm getting at? If we continue to give people excuses to get away with shooting people, what's going to happen? And I did a video, and at the end of that other video, I told people we have mentally unstable veterans coming home. And one of these guys is walking down the street in the middle of the night, pissed, angry, going through his post-traumatic stress thing. And some idiot neighborhood watch wants to deal with a ranger. What's going to happen then? Army vet shot for looking suspicious. Vet shot outside his own house. He was huddled down outside his house, and neighborhood watch thought he was breaking in and shot him. Last I heard, neighborhood watch was less than security guard. You see, blacks have been getting shot by police forever. Then the private police start killing people. And now, the neighborhood watch, you don't even hear of a security guard from the mall killing somebody. Do you? The neighborhood watch, self-appointed, self-proclaimed neighborhood watch. Is everybody trying to be a hero now after the movie Kick-Ass? Wake up, dreamer. Wake up. Wake up, dreamer.